Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I hope this finds you well. My name is Kale Filipa Varinde de Sá. I'm from Willow International School, grade 12, and the name of my dish is couve com coco e peixe frito, or else in English is kale with coconut and fried fish. First, we start by seasoning the fish with some garlic, lemon, salt, and pepper. 2 tablespoons of garlic, 2 lemons, salt, the quantity you want, pepper, the same. I start mixing it all with my hands to certify that the entire fish had the seasoning. For this next step, I started cutting the tomatoes and onions, but you can cut it in the way you want it, how you want it, but this is how I preferred it, how I wanted it to be. In this next step, I'm grinding my coconut for the couve com coco, but unfortunately I didn't get to record it, but then I finalized it. This next step, we're doing the leite gordo or fat coconut milk. We use 1 cup of hot water, 1 cup of cold water, then we mix it up. Then I started squishing the coconut for all the milk to go out. This is how I do it. The coconut we just squished, we leave it aside. Now we use a strainer to take all of the coconut that was left in the milk, because we have to make sure and certify that there's no more coconut in the milk for it to cook well in the pan. This next step, we are doing leite magro or thin coconut milk. We used a half of cold water and the other half of hot water. Then we mix it with the coconut and we mix it with our hands. And then I squished it again and also used the strainer to take all of the missing coconut that was left in the milk for it to be clean and clear, just like we did with the leite gordo or the thick coconut milk. Here is me showing how I squish the coconut and all of the process of how to make the thin coconut milk. Once I'm done squishing the coconut milk, here's how it looks, ready to cook. Next step, you're going to mix the vegetable oil with onions, garlic, and tomatoes. I started by putting the onion with vegetable oil and some garlic. I let it sit for some time for it to bake very well. I let it bake for some time, I mixed it very well, and I put the tomatoes in it, mix it already, and let it sit with some water for it to bake very well. For this next step, I put the couve in the pan and let it cook for some time. So here's where the fun part starts. We're going to start putting the leite magro in the couve, and we're going to mix it for a very long time for the coconut not to cut. This because if you just mix it a bit and leave it, the coconut will then not suck all the flavors of the couve. If you put some seasoning in there, that's not going to work. So you have to mix it until you see that it's all mixed up, it's all good for it to leave just to bake for some time. We keep mixing it until it looks like this consistency. When it's like this, you then close the pan and let it bake for some time. After some time, you then open it to mix it to see how is the consistency, for then to start with the leite gordo. After that, we start with the leite gordo. We keep mixing it just like we did for the first leite until it's good. When it comes to that consistency of the first one, we then close it, we let it bake, and we open it time to time to mix it and see if it's all good for the dish to be ready. Now I'm going to explain why I chose this dish. Coconut milk. Why did I choose to do the coffee with coconut milk? Because it is present in popular and sophisticated dishes. This ingredient is irreplaceable. The subtle and unctuous taste and its liquid form are qualities that make it a true gastronomic joker, capable of increasing and enhancing the flavor of countless sweet and savory recipes. For this specific dish I chose, it gives a sweeter taste, it gives a more juicier taste, and it makes all the flavors going very well. When preparing for starters, appetizers, main dishes, desserts, snacks, and even drinks, coconut milk can be used without restrictions, and the result will always be a full-bodied and tasty dish. This part of my dish, I took the fish that we had previously seasoned, and then I put it in some eggs. I mixed the egg with some salt and then put the egg with the flour in the fish and let it fry with the pan already hot. I did the exact same thing for the second fish. And from time to time, I switched the positions of the fish from up, down, and then also pressed it for it to cook very well and be crispy as I wanted it to be. Then when done, I took it off, I put it in a plate, and this is how it is, the fried fish. Thank you so much.